This week on Wildcat News, questions raised about the biggest house on Sanders Road are answered.
We find out why we have senior superlatives.
And a student's hidden talent is revealed.
All these stories and more coming up because Wildcat News starts now.
Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Nik Reasor.
And I'm Catherine Sorrell. One of the largest houses on Sanders Road, the Lion's Den, has raised many questions among local residents. Anastasia Lonesky meets with the owner to find out the story behind the house.
Anthony Elliott, NC native, built the Lion's Den, a 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 10,700 square foot house. He explains why he chose Johnston County.
Family. Family. You can't really put a country boy in the city and expect for him to enjoy it. Michael Jackson has his Neverland, Elvis Presley had his Grace, and I'm like, I need something good with this. Saw this place and I was watched this property for a year and a half and wait for the price to drop down so I could afford it. And like I said, it's a perfect triangle to get from Raleigh, Fayetteville.
The house stands out amongst the surrounding houses in the area. Elliott tells how the style and size came about.
My grandmother aspired to style. Again, we used to watch those Southern movies. I wanted to give her a real life version of that in this home before, her days are gone. So now she has her own to come and see anytime. I have 2 brothers that passed away, and I help take care of their kids. So I have 5 kids of my own, so I try to get them all together and keep the family together. I'm the bridge since they're not here anymore. So a big house is what I needed.
In 2009, Anthony and 30 other workers were involved in the ConAgra explosion in Garner, resulting in him and 2 others being induced into a 2.5-month coma due to the severe burns and injuries.
When I was in my coma, I used to have dreams. And in my dreams, there were always lions protecting me. So I went to bed and with it on my mind, and I woke up and I got it. I said, they protected me whenever I was down, and it became the Lion's Den. No matter what kind of curveballs life throw you, you can survive anything. I was burned 55% of my body. I told me I may never move my legs again, I may never use my arms again, but here I am, walking and talking and trying to do some of the things that I love to do.
I'm Anastasia Lonesky, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Anna.
Last Tuesday, county board members visited the school to see certain features that make us stand out. Ariel Andrews tells us more.
Last Tuesday, senior board members of the Johnston County School Board of Education were given a tour of the school by various student leaders. Dr. Rodney Peterson, Chief Academic Advisor, explains why the event took place.
Each month, the Johnston County Board of Education chooses a school as more or less as a showcase. And this month was West Johnston High School. And we were able to come and meet with student leaders and see various happenings going on in the school. This is a great time for each school to showcase maybe something very positive going on in their school. It's a monthly reminder of why we do what we do, and that's the best part about it.
The board members were split into parties of 4, each being led by 2 student leaders. Each group traveled around the school after a meal. The first group went to the band and dance programs. The second set out to observe our virtual cafe and student media. The third went to discover the food pantry, and the last headed toward our American Sign Language class. Peggy Smith, Information Liaison, shares her experience.
Well, first of all, we were greeted by a spectacular group of well-dressed and very courteous young men and women. Our food was prepared much to our delight by the children who go to school here, which always impresses when it's not catered, but really was a delicious meal. The chorus was absolutely, I cried, I laughed, it was just unbelievably professional. And then we went to the sign language class and I actually learned to spell my name.
Though the tour was enjoyable to Smith, the true purpose of the tour resonated throughout the day.
We want the board and the cabinet to go into the schools and see education in action. It gives us direction, it gives us purpose, it makes what we do feel worthwhile to know that we can support your efforts to get a good education. I just can't describe it. It just gives you such a good feeling to know that our future's in good hands. The students were incredibly just perfect. So thank you so much for letting us come today. I really cannot tell you how much I enjoyed it. Every minute of it.
I'm Ariel Andrews, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Ariel.
As the first semester of this year comes to an end, some seniors are honored with senior superlatives. Robert Wilson and Kimberly Drown gives us some more information about this tradition.
The purpose of senior superlatives is to let the senior class know that they fall under a category. Like, we have people that can defend our country. We also have dancers and singers and people with talent. So we just come up with categories and let the students choose which categories they would like to fall under. And then they can show off during our senior breakfast.
Senior superlatives are just one way of showing the talents that everyone has, but also it's kind of a list of achievements, and it's something to be proud of. And it's very difficult sometimes when the voting comes in because the numbers are so close. And what's awesome is that when we have the nominations, of course I get to see those, but I look at all those nominations and I say, yeah, I can see that, I can see that, and I can see that. And it's so difficult in the end when you can only choose one person for each category.
Senior superlatives are more than just a title. Wilson and Drown explains the importance of this type of acknowledgement.
I feel like senior superlatives are important to have so they can give recognition to the people who have been striving all 4 years of their high school career to be something at their high school.
I think that your senior superlatives really show those talents and those unique, quirky spots within your class. And to me, it really provides something that you can look back on for years to come and say, oh yeah, I remember when. The senior class should be very proud of all their accomplishments.
Superlatives will be announced at the senior breakfast this Friday.
Last Thursday, the band performed with a few new additions to the ensemble. Brody Hall tells us more.
Last Thursday, the band department produced a Christmas concert which included a special performance from the jazz ensemble. Brandon Rich, assistant band director, and sophomore Drew Cece explained the difference between classical music and jazz.
Classical, you have somebody just conducting up front and they're mainly in charge, but jazz is much more of a democracy and a conversation. And just the culture of jazz and how you get better at jazz comes from playing with older established musicians. So I think it's a necessary part.
Jazz band compared to the other ensembles that are in the band, it's not as much. We get together maybe like I said, like once or twice every other week. Because we don't put on huge performances, just kind of side performance fun. It's not like normal music, I guess. It comes from inside you,
Rich discusses the details of the performance and the communications between the musicians.
There were a couple moments in the performance where we got a little scary, but that's the whole thing about jazz and improvisation is you just go with it and you look at each other, you communicate, and you say, oh, all right, let's get back on here, So we had a couple moments like that, but hopefully you couldn't tell.
Rich is attempting to reintroduce jazz to the area.
So when I started here a year ago, I was hired to take over the percussion section and the jazz section. My main musical passion is jazz. We are the country that invented the blues, and we basically forgot about it as soon as we invented it. You can get a PhD in music in this country and not know one thing about jazz, or not take one jazz class. And to me, that's really sad. So it's been great to see jazz kind of come back in this area.
I'm Brody Hall, Wildcat News.
Now over to Jamie Snover with the rundown.
I'm Jamie Snover and welcome to the rundown. Here's the last week's scores. Last Tuesday, JV boys basketball lost 66-35 against Rollsville. JV girls won 21-14, varsity boys lost 71-42, and varsity girls lost 50-37. Wednesday, JV girls basketball lost 21-32 against South Johnston. JV boys lost 39-28, varsity girls lost 56-41, and varsity boys lost 61-47. Friday, JV boys basketball lost 79-39 against Southeast Raleigh. JV girls lost 11-57, varsity boys lost 82-41, and varsity girls lost 58-22. Finally, Thad Wilkerson led the wrestling team, placing second in the Wolverine Challenge last Saturday. Here's a look at the game of the week. After a pass from number 12, Megan Bennett, number 3, Nadia Blevins makes a three-point shot, making the score 13-26. Number 10, Christian Sanders passes to number 11, Kira Bird, for a three-point shot, making the score 23-32. After a pass from number 22, Courtney Crease, number 3, Nadia Blevins made a three-point shot to make the score 32-42. After varsity girls ended the game 50-37 Rolesville, varsity boys ended with a score of 71-42. Number 20, Wade Eatman steals the ball from Rolesville and shoots a layup to make the score 10-23. Number 23, Jason Bryant steals the ball and passes to number 3, Ryan Holmes, who shoots a layup, making the score 16-31. After a pass from number 3, Ryan Holmes, number 21, Adam Steen makes a three-point shot, making the score 19-35. Wrestling is home tonight and away on Friday and Saturday. Basketball is away on Thursday. Come out and support all your winter athletes. I'm Jamie Snover, and that's your week's rundown.
Thanks, Jamie.
The chorus department recently put on their annual Christmas show, and one junior in particular stood out. Erik Beene tells us more.
Junior Megan Jones gave a solo performance at the chorus concert on December 8th when she sang Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran and received glowing reviews. Unknown to many, Jones had been preparing for that moment for years.
I was really little, like 2 years old. Like the first season of American Idol, that was kind of like the kickoff of my career, I guess. I look up to Kelly Clarkson, that's why. I mean, I liked her style and everything, so I would sit in the living room with my mom, 2 years old, with a little plastic microphone.
Jones soon took her talent from the living room to the stage when she started playing in various local churches. However, despite her love of singing, Jones didn't join chorus until a friend pushed her into it.
My best friend was like, hey, you're really talented, why don't you go try out for chorus? I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went and came and tried out. Miss Rowe was like very impressed with my vocal ranges or whatever.
Rowe was so impressed that she asked Jones to perform the solo.
She said she loves my style, so for her to ask me, it was a very big thing for me, especially because I really look up to her for my musical guidance, and for her to ask me, it was really awesome.
Despite some pre-performance jitters, Jones felt the experience was highly rewarding and reaffirmed her goals.
Seeing their faces and their comments after made me feel good, but this is really what I want to do. Singing is like definitely the biggest part of me, and if you talk to anyone who knows me, they'll tell you the same thing.
I'm Erik Beene, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Erik. Well, that's all for us this week. If you have any questions, comments, or story leads, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com or send us a tweet at wjstudentmedia.
If you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on past episodes, go to wjstudentmedia.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Nik Reasor. We'll see you back again in February.
And until then, I'm Catherine Sorrell. Have a wonderful winter break and good luck on exams.